The rain fell like shattered glass against the silent street, drenching everything in cold gray shadows. A small figure stood trembling under the weak porch light of a modest house, her soaked hair clinging to her face, her arms wrapped tightly around herself, as if she could hold together the pieces of a life that had been breaking for far too long. The single dad inside had just finished putting his little daughter to sleep when he heard the soft knock on the door, hesitant, fragile, almost like someone was afraid to exist. When he opened the door, he saw the young woman standing there, shaking in the storm, her eyes filled with a mixture of fear, exhaustion, and something deeper, desperation. And then, in a trembling whisper barely louder than the rain, she asked the question that would change both of their lives forever. "Can I sleep with you tonight?" Before we continue this emotional story, take a moment to support the message of kindness and compassion. If you believe small acts of humanity can change lives, please like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs a little hope today, and subscribe to the channel Ripple of Kindness. Your support helps spread stories that remind the world how powerful kindness can be. The man standing in the doorway, Daniel Carter, had learned long ago that life could change in a single moment. 3 years earlier, he had lost his wife in a sudden accident, leaving him alone to raise his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. The grief had nearly crushed him, but Lily's small hand holding his every morning reminded him why he had to keep going. Life wasn't easy. Daniel worked long hours at a repair shop during the day and spent his evenings helping Lily with homework, cooking simple dinners, and reading bedtime stories. His house was small, his life quiet, but his heart had learned something powerful through loss. When someone is hurting, sometimes the smallest kindness means everything. The woman standing before him that night looked like she had been running from the world. Her name, he would later learn, was Emily. She had arrived in town only hours earlier with nowhere to go. Her job in another city had disappeared overnight after the company suddenly closed, and the relationship she once trusted had turned into something cold and cruel. The man she had loved had told her to leave when things became difficult. No home, no money, no family nearby. Only a stormy highway and a bus ticket that brought her to a place where she knew no one. For hours she had walked through the rain, searching for somewhere safe, somewhere warm, somewhere that didn't feel like the world had completely forgotten her. Every closed store, every dark house, every empty street reminded her how alone she was, until she reached Daniel's porch light, the only warm glow in the entire block. When she whispered that fragile question, she didn't mean it the way it sounded. She didn't ask for romance or comfort in the way people might imagine. What she meant was something much simpler, much more desperate. She meant, "Can I sleep somewhere safe tonight? Can I rest without fear? Can someone just help me survive this moment?" Daniel saw the truth in her eyes immediately. He saw the same exhaustion he had once seen in the mirror after losing his wife, the look of someone who had fought too many battles alone. Instead of reacting with suspicion or judgment, Daniel stepped aside and gently invited her in from the storm. The house smelled like warm soup and laundry detergent. Lily's colorful drawings covered the refrigerator, and a small lamp glowed softly in the living room. It wasn't a big home, but it was a safe one. Daniel handed Emily a dry towel and a warm blanket. He didn't ask too many questions that night. Sometimes people need warmth before words. He made her a cup of tea and set up the couch with pillows while the rain continued to whisper outside the windows. For the first time in weeks, Emily felt something she thought she had lost forever: safety. That night she slept on Daniel's couch while he sat quietly at the kitchen table, thinking about how strange life could be. 3 years ago, he had felt like the most broken man in the world. Now, somehow, he had become the person someone else needed to survive their darkest night. The next morning, sunlight replaced the storm. Lily ran into the living room and curiously peeked at the sleeping stranger on the couch. When Emily woke up, embarrassed and unsure if she had overstayed her welcome, Daniel simply smiled and told her something she would never forget: everyone deserves a second chance at life. Over the next few weeks, Emily slowly began rebuilding herself. Daniel helped her find a temporary job at a nearby cafe owned by a friend. Lily, with her innocent kindness, quickly grew attached to Emily, bringing her drawings and asking her to join their evening dinners. What began as one desperate night slowly turned into something none of them expected. A small, imperfect family built on compassion rather than obligation. Emily eventually moved into her own small apartment across town, but she never forgot the night when a stranger chose kindness instead of suspicion. That one decision changed the direction of her life. Years later, Emily would tell people that the most powerful words she ever heard weren't grand speeches or promises of love. They were the simple words Daniel spoke when she asked if she could stay that night. His answer had been quiet, gentle, and full of humanity. Of course, everyone deserves a safe place to sleep. And that simple kindness echoed far beyond that rainy night. Emily eventually opened a small community center that helped people experiencing homelessness and hardship. Every person she helped was a reminder of the night someone helped her. Now, before this story reaches its ending, we have a special request for you. If this story is touching your heart, comment the word kindness below. It helps spread this message to more people who might need a reminder that compassion still exists in the world. The truth is, most life-changing moments don't come with loud applause or dramatic headlines. They happen quietly, when someone chooses empathy instead of indifference,